Have you been shopping for clothes lately and noticed the price tag? Talk about sticker shock, clothes have become so expensive. So the question is, when you get a stain in those clothes, how do you get that stain out? Well, let's find out. We'll see which laundry detergent does the best job at removing 6 different common stains. Then we'll see which one does the best job at removing awful smells like this gear oil. At a price of only $4 for 22 ounces or 18 cents per ounce, the least expensive brand we'll be testing is made by Zout. They claim it clings, penetrates, and lifts stains. We're going to test that. They claim it's 50 times more concentrated than in-wash powder. And the Zout is made in USA. This is some motor oil from the 1970s that has graphite in it. This will cause a really bad oil stain, and I'll apply it to 14 pieces of fabric taken from a white cotton t-shirt. Now that the test pieces are saturated in oil, let's wash them and we'll use a Tide Pod to remove as much of the stain as possible. I'll set the machine on extra small load in hot water. All of the test samples have finished washing and I've also dried them. And these test pieces are pretty badly stained. Let's prepare some white cotton t-shirts for our first test. I'll use a permanent marker to create 6 test zones. Let's go ahead and prepare 14 shirts for testing using common products that cause bad stains. Pigment stains are caused by coffee, tea, red wine, and ink. I'll add a tablespoon of grape juice to the top left corner of the t-shirt. Now let's add some ketchup to the left center test area. At the bottom left, let's add some gear oil, which not only causes a stain, but it smells awful. Let's add some really powerful Cousin Eddie style coffee to the top right corner. Mustard is a very common dye-based stain that's very hard to remove. Soy sauce includes an oil, dye, and protein, so this will be a very tough stain for the stain removers to remove. Stains become more challenging to tackle once they've dried. So I'll leave the t-shirts out in the direct sunlight until they're completely dry. It's been over 12 hours and the stains are all dried. So let's kick off our first test using Zout. I'll thoroughly saturate all the stains and then I'll allow the stain remover products to soak for 5 minutes. I'll also saturate the oil stain test pieces. I'll also saturate a spot on a new red cotton t-shirt to see if the stain remover causes fading. And 5 minutes is up, so let's toss the 2 t-shirts and the oil stain cloth into the washing machine. I'll wash the clothes in hot water and I'll also use the Tide Pod. This is a top loader machine which does a great job of agitating the laundry, and it does a great job of draining all the water from the machine at the end of the wash cycle. And the wash cycle is finished for the 2 t-shirts and the oil stain test piece. And the Zout did a pretty good job at improving the stains, but the shirt is still stained in several areas. And the oil stain test piece sure does look a lot better. At a price of only $3 for 16 ounces or 19 cents per ounce is this spray and wash brand. They claim it gets the job done the first time. They claim it powerfully removes the toughest 7-day dried-in stains. We're gonna test that. And the spray and wash is made in USA. Spray on the stain, covering it completely. Wait 5 minutes maximum. Wash according to care label instructions in the warmest water recommended. I'll wash the clothes in hot water and I'll also use the Tide Pod. And the wash cycle is finished, and the spray and wash did well on some stains and not so well on others. We'll know a lot more once the shirt is dried. At a price of $5 for 22 ounces or 23 cents per ounce is this Tide Rescue. Works on laundry as well as carpet and upholstery. It's supposed to remove all sorts of stains including wine, grass, blood, grease, dirt, and more. And the Tide Rescue is made in USA. Turn the sprayer to the on position. Spray directly onto stain, rub in, and wait for about 5 minutes. I decided not to scrub any of the stain removers since it would be almost impossible to scrub them equally. Wash with your normal detergent at the warmest setting that your fabric will accept. And 5 minutes has passed and the badly stained cloths are in the washer with the Tide Pod. And the Tide stain remover seems to have performed very well, possibly the best yet, but we'll know more once all the test pieces have been fully dried. At a price of $6 for 17 ounces or 35 cents per ounce is the pink stuff. If you're looking for a laundry detergent that can perform a miracle, this one claims to be the one. Vegan, what exactly does that mean? I really hope that none of these brands use chicken or cow parts. It includes an oxy stain remover. It claims that it's color safe. We're going to test that. And the pink stuff is made in the UK. Spray on both sides of the stain, leave for no longer than 5 minutes. Wash as normal following fabric care instructions. And the pink stain remover has also performed very well on several types of the stains. At a price of $9 for 22 ounces or 41 cents per ounce is this Zout brand. Stains gone guaranteed. We're going to test that. And the Zout is made in USA. Spray to completely cover the stain and then rub in. Wait 1 to 5 minutes. Launder in the warmest possible water per fabric care instructions. And the Zout doesn't seem to have performed as well as the pink stain remover, but it's hard to say until the clothes are fully dried. At a price of $10 for 24 ounces or 42 cents per ounce is this Dreft brand. It claims that it's made of 49% plant-based ingredients. Hypoallergenic. It's free of dyes, chlorine, and phosphates. And the Dreft is made in USA. Just like with the other brands, the stained areas are completely saturated with the Dreft, and the Dreft spent 5 minutes going to work on the stains. And the Dreft seems to perform better than the Zout, but it's still too early to say. At a price of $7 for 12 ounces or 58 cents per ounce is this Oxiclean. They claim you can spray now and wash up to 7 days later. Safe for all colors and washable fabrics. Used for grass stains, grease stains, oil, and more. Includes 4 types of stain fighters. And the Oxiclean is made in USA. Spray directly under the spot or stain until saturated. Let stand for 5 minutes or up to a week depending on the severity of the stain. Wash in the detergent in the warmest water that the fabric will accept. And the Oxiclean Spray Stain Remover appears to be one of the best performers yet by really attacking most of the stains. At a price of $16 for 27 ounces or 59 cents per ounce is this Attitude brand. It's made from powerful ingredients sourced from plants and minerals. 100% vegan and cruelty-free. And the Attitude is made in Canada. Spray the Attitude directly onto stain. Rub the laundry stain remover into fabric and wait 5 minutes depending upon the severity of the stain. Wash with laundry detergent. And the Attitude also seems to perform well, but not quite as well as the Oxiclean Spray. At a price of $5 for 6 ounces or 81 cents per ounce is this Oxiclean Gel Stick. They claim it can tackle your stubborn and dried-in laundry stains. You can pre-treat stains now and wash up to 7 days later. It's supposed to be able to remove oil, grease, makeup, blood, grass, soil, and more. And the Oxiclean is made in USA. Place the gel stick directly onto the stain, press down to dispense the gel, and gently rub into fabric. Let stand for 5 minutes or up to a week depending on the severity of the stain. And the Oxiclean Gel also seems to have done a great job attacking the stains, but probably not quite as well as the Oxiclean Spray. At a price of $6 for 4 ounces or $1.50 per ounce is this Stain Rescue. Accidents happen, stains shouldn't. They claim it's fast, safe, strong, and universal. And the Emergency Stain Rescue is made in USA. Waiting until a stain is dry definitely isn't the way to rescue a shirt from a stain. However, with a name like Emergency Rescue, expectations are pretty high. As they say, the jury is still out, but it appears that the Emergency Stain Rescue has performed very well on some of the stained areas and not so well on others. Also, the price is $6 for 4 ounces or $1.50 per ounce is this Miss Mouse Stain Treater. $, exclamation point, and ampersand happens, be prepared. They claim it's fast, safe, strong, and multi-use. And the Miss Mouse Stain Treater is made in USA. Just like the Emergency Stain Rescue container, the Miss Mouse press-to-spray design is quite the workout on the fingers and thumbs with so many stained areas. And the Miss Mouse made quite a bit of progress with some of the stains, but not as much progress as the Emergency Stain Rescue. At a price of $20 for 12 ounces or $1.67 per ounce is this DeSolv-It brand. They claim it can remove stains even after dryer. They claim it's a professional stain remover for laundry, carpets, and upholstery. No fuss wine, hair dye, baby stain, and blood stain remover. And the DeSolv-It is made in USA. With a name like DeSolv-It and a price tag of $1.67 per ounce, expectations are pretty high. And the fabric is still wet and it's too soon to say for sure, but the DeSolv-It doesn't seem to perform quite as well as the Emergency Stain Rescue brand. Let's throw together a homebrew stain remover with approximately 2 parts hydrogen peroxide and 1 part Dawn dish detergent. Just like the other brands, the homebrew will have 5 minutes to get as much work done as possible. And their homebrew stain remover actually seems to have done a better job than some of the stain remover products on the t-shirt, but not much for the oil-stained fabric. Instead of using a stain remover, let's just toss the stained laundry into a washer with the Tide Pod. Without the help of a stain remover, most of the stained areas with the control look pretty bad. And the graphite oil caused a really bad stain in the white t-shirt. Finishing in 14th place is the Homebrew Stain Remover. And the Stain Rescue wasn't able to rescue this badly stained fabric with a 13th place finish. Barely edging out the Stain Rescue is the Miss Mouse with a 12th place finish. Having a name like Attitude isn't enough to knock out a tough oil stain with an 11th place finish. And the pink may be capable of a miracle, but not on this oil stained fabric, finishing in 10th. And it's a 9th place finish for the very affordable Spray and Wash. And the Zout barely edged out the Spray and Wash, finishing in 8th. And it's hard to believe that the Control actually finished in 7th place. And the De-Solv-It barely beat the Control with the 6th place finish. And the Dreft is off to a great start with a top 5 finish. And the Oxygel is also off to a great start, finishing in 4th place in this category. And a shout out to the very affordable Shout for finishing in 3rd. And the Tide lives up to its reputation and did a great job with the 2nd place finish. And the best stain remover for removing the graphite oil stain is this Oxiclean Spray. Very impressive! Comparing the homebrew to the Oxiclean Spray, there's a huge difference in performance. When it comes to dealing with pigment-based stains, just using laundry detergent alone isn't a good option, and it's a 14th place finish for the Control. And the Zout definitely performed better than the Control, but not by much, finishing in 13th. And the Dreft also struggled, finishing in 12th place with the grape juice stain. Once again, the emergency rescue struggled with the stain, finishing in 11th. Tide did great with the oil stain, but it's a 10th place finish for the grape juice stain. And the DeSolvIt struggled to dissolve the grape juice stain and finished in 9th place. And Miss Mouse definitely looks better than DeSolvIt and finished in 8th. And the Attitude also made a lot of progress and finished in 7th place. The spray and wash barely edged out the Attitude and finished in 6th. A 5th place finish is not at all bad for a homebrew stain removal concoction. And the Oxiclean Gel has done a pretty good job and finished in 4th. And the very affordable Shout once again pulled off a 3rd place finish. And the Pink claims to perform miracles and it did a really good job finishing in 2nd place. And the Oxiclean spray once again finished in 1st place by nearly wiping out the stain. Comparing the Oxiclean spray to the Control, there's a huge difference. Very impressive. Cousin Eddie makes a mean cup of coffee and it's a 14th place finish for the DeSolvIt. There's definitely some value in using a stain remover as a Control finished in 13th place. And the Zout also struggled and finished in 12th. And the Oxy Gel did well on oil and grape juice but finished in 11th place with the coffee stain. If you're counting on Miss Mouth, you're better off keeping the coffee in your mouth and off your shirt. And Cousin Eddie's coffee has way too much Attitude for the Attitude brand, finishing in 9th place. And it's an 8th place finish for the Dreft. And the spray and wash barely edged out the Dreft and finished in 7th. And the Oxiclean did a great job with the graphite oil and grape juice and finished in 6th place with this stain. And the Tide also made more progress than most of the other brands with a 5th place finish. And it's a 4th place finish for the emergency stain rescue on the coffee stain. And the homebrew is far from perfect, but a 3rd place finish is pretty good. And the Shout once again finished ahead of most of the other brands and finished in 2nd place. And the Pink claims to perform miracles and it did the best job with the 1st place finish. Comparing the 14th place DeSolvIt to the Pink did a much better job. Mustard stains are extremely difficult to remove and the Control finished in dead last. Unfortunately, it hasn't been a good showing so far for the Miss Mouse, finishing towards the bottom again in 13th. And the Dreft also struggled with a 12th place finish. Once again, the Mustard has way too much Attitude for the Attitude stain remover. And the Oxiclean Gel also struggled with the mustard stain, finishing in 10th. And the emergency rescue barely edged out the Oxiclean Gel with a 9th place finish. Shout has done a great job throughout the showdown, but finished in 8th place with the mustard stain. And the very affordable spray and wash finished in 7th place. And the Oxiclean spray continues to perform better than average with the 6th place finish. And the homebrew once again has a good showing, finishing in 5th. And the Tide once again performed better than most of the other brands with a 4th place finish. And the DeSolvIt brand made quite a bit of progress and finished in 3rd. And it's very close, but the Zout stain remover finished in 2nd place. And the Pink Stuff continues to impress with a 1st place finish on the mustard stain. Comparing the Control to the Pink Stuff, there's a huge difference. Soy sauce consists of oil, dye, and protein, which makes for a very difficult stain to remove. And the Control, which includes just using laundry detergent only, finished in last place once again on the soy sauce. And the Zout did well with the mustard stain, but ended up in 13th place for the soy sauce. And the soy sauce really put the Attitude brand to the test with a 12th place finish. And the Oxiclean spray has done a great job throughout the showdown, but finished in 11th place this time. And the Oxiclean Gel also struggled and finished in 10th place. The very affordable Shout brand barely edged out the Oxiclean Gel with a 9th place finish. And the Tide struggled with grape juice and has struggled with soy sauce, finishing in 8th. And the Dreft has struggled in several categories, but it's a 7th place finish this time. And the Stain Rescue did a pretty good job on the soy sauce stain with a 6th place finish. DeSolv-It also did well, finishing in 5th place, and is challenging to even see the stain. And the Pink Stuff continues to impress, erasing most of the stain with a 4th place finish. And the Miss Mouse Stain Remover has struggled in several categories, but not this one, finishing in 3rd place. And the Homebrew really attacked the soy sauce and finished in 2nd place. And the very affordable Spray and Wash did a terrific job and finished in 1st place. Comparing the Control to the Spray and Wash, there's a huge difference in performance. Most of the brands performed very well on the ketchup stain, receiving the best possible rating of 1. However, Shout, Attitude, Oxiclean Gel Stick, Miss Mouse, Homebrew, and the Control received a rating of 2. Most of the stain removers also did better than expected with the best possible rating of 1 on the gear oil stain. Only the Dreft, Attitude, Oxiclean Gel Stick, Control, and the Homebrew received a rating of 2. I applied the stain removers on a small area on the front of the red shirts to see if the stain removers caused the red shirts to fade in the treated area. All of the brands did perform well except for the Homebrew, which did cause a small area to experience a very small amount of fading. Do stain removers actually transfer stains to other parts of the shirt? Half of the shirts did receive the best possible rating of 1 for maintaining a bright white color. However, about half the shirts did receive a rating of 2 as they did become a little bit darker from stain transfer. So which stain remover is best? I combined the average rating with the average finish, and the Pink Stuff came out on top with a 2.4. Oxiclean also performed very well in most categories with a score of 3.2. And the very affordable Zout brand performed almost as well as the Oxiclean spray with an average score of 3.3. I always like the reviews in which the least expensive products outperform the more expensive ones, like this review. Really impressed with the pink stuff, Zout, as well as Oxiclean. Also, I don't accept any sponsorships, and I personally purchase all the products and supplies used to test all the products to make sure that the reviews are unbiased. So thank you very much for supporting the channel. It makes a huge difference. Also, all the videos in this channel are viewer suggested, so if you have a video idea, I hope you'll take time to leave a comment. Thanks so much for watching. Please take care and look forward to next time.